G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jono. Thank you so much for joining me. Before we go any further, please hit like and subscribe. You can also head to my website, jonosguitar.com.au for some Kemper Profiles. Now, I just wanted to dial in a really great Mesaboogie recto tone with the Kemper, so we're going to go through that. So let's jump on into the rig manager. Now, this is on my profiler, right? So this has come stock in my profiler, my stage. So everyone should probably have this. If you don't have this profile, head to the local library and search this, Tills Recto Raw 2. This is one we're going to use today. So the rig down here, everything that's not highlighted is, it wasn't in the rig at all. So there is literally nothing in the rig when you open it except for this legacy reverb, right? So this is what we've added to it. First of all, so here's the stock tone just as it would be if you clicked on it on your profile. It's a pretty awesome tone, love it. We can make it a little bit better. Better subjective, but anyway, let's build up now to the tone that I used in that track. The first things I want to do is put the noise gate on. So we're going to put that noise gate on the input up to 3. I just think that's a smart thing to do. It doesn't take up any spots in your rig chain, so it's a smart thing to do there. And you can manipulate a few things if you want, but we can just leave them at 0, 0. Next thing to do, just a compressor, soft compressor. And that, again, that's just stock standard as it comes in when you select the stock compressor. Compressor, soft, this one, all right? So here it is without. And with. Definitely lifted the dynamics up a little bit. I can see that on the waveform too as I'm recording it. Now, the next thing, drive. This was a really cool one. I tried a couple of things. I've gone with the full OC, so like the OCD kind of model. Now, I've gone with this one because there's a really cool setting, which is Bright Boost. Bright Boost actually, it doesn't get rid of a heap of bass, and that's really good. So sometimes in the past for high gain amps, I've used the Kemper Drive, these Horizon attacks. I find them really, really good too. But with the Mesa, with this Recto, I felt like it was just shelving off way too much bass. So again, here's a tone without it. Bass feels really good and it's there, and then we put it on. I reckon that really lifts it. It kind of adds more of just what the amp is in terms of like a full range drive. So loving that. Phaser. This is the Eddy setting, which I just love. Just for a bit of why not, yeah. Now, I didn't actually use that on the track, so I'm just going to leave that off for a second. The next slot I actually had is empty before, but having essentially 2 pedals in front of an amplifier and a phaser that's like vintage style phaser, I thought it's probably safe just to put a noise gate after it again, but this is very soft. I definitely am not a fan of noise gates in front of real amps, but the way that Kemper does it I think is really, really great. So as you can see, the threshold is at 1.3, so it's very, very, very low. And all that's going to do is just help minimize a little bit of like finger noise and little like scratchy noises that might happen when I've got the full OC engaged, which I did for the track. Now we come into the amp and cab part. This is just generic. And again, I really haven't changed any of these stock settings. Kemper generic, no need for a liquid profile in this one. And the cabinet, again, is the stock one that comes with this profile. So next, Studio EQ. Now, a lot of messes that I've played, and just in general, you kind of like scoop the mids and they sound really, really cool. So with the Studio EQ, I always use one of these at some point or another in a chain. So here it is without. So we have brought the mids up a little bit, but I still feel like we retain the essence of this profile. Definitely brightens it up a little bit too, which I really, really enjoy. One thing I did do was bring back the high gain a little bit to 2.7. I think it was up about 4. And the mid 2Q, we've just kind of shifted that back a little bit to a more neutral part. So there's less of those, less boosting of the really, really high mids. Next up, we're adding a dual delay. I love the dual delay. It's one of my absolute favorites in the Kemper. So without it, sounds like this. And with the dual delay, at the moment it's quite subtle, but it's there. Right, and last but not least, the legacy reverb. Now that, as I said, was already on in the profile before I've added anything else. So what I have done is now added a morph function. So let's go to the morph settings, and as you can see, we're just changing the dual delay and the legacy reverb. Taking the mix of the delay from 20 up to 80. Sounds like this. A little bit of modulation on that dual delay, which I love. And again, on the legacy reverb, we're taking the decay time up to about 5 seconds almost, and the mix up to about 40%. The dual delay does a lot, especially on the ping pong setting. That's what I was going to say. The dual delay is a ping pong setting. You really get some cool stereo imagery with that one. So we don't need too much from the reverb, but it's there as well. It sounds like this. And that is the tone that I had during this track on the lead setting. Absolutely love it. All I was doing really was just mucking around with a few profiles that come with the Kemper, with my stage, and found this one. I'm like, this is a really, really great recto sound. So let's build it up. And that's what we've done here. All right, that's enough rambling from me. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you get something out of building up this tone. Try it on your Kemper if you have one. Remember, please hit like and subscribe. You can also head to my website, johnnoisguitar.com.au for some Kemper profiles, and I'll see you on the next video. Don't know what's happening out there.